So what I think you're going to see play out here is exactly what played out in China 10 to 15 years ago. And basically you have three companies that have gone massive: Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent. There's a lot of big companies now after that, but thinking back 10 years ago, and then those companies have acquired hundreds, if not 1,000 companies in China. And so I think you'll see GoTo, you'll see Grab, you'll see SEA Group, maybe one other decacorn that will become the kind of premier buyer. And so being listed on an exchange gives them the capital to grow, gives them the valuation to do these sort of acquisitions, a mix of cash and equity. And they're basically going to gobble up a number of startups. And by our estimates, we're doing a report right now with the New York Stock Exchange and INSEAD. It's going to be our second exit report. The last one we did in 2019. We're estimating there's going to be by 2025, which is where the ecosystem kind of will hit its 10-year maturity mark in terms of some real growth, a few hundred acquisitions being led primarily by these decacorns. So Golden Gate has been operating in the region for 10 years now. So since 2011, this is our 10th anniversary. The amount of activity in terms of companies that have raised over 100 million, I mean, there's over 100 companies in that sort of space. And so what we expect over the next 4 years is, that will 5x.
And marking your 10th year and your 10-year anniversary, Vinnie, I have to get your perspective on what this would mean for investors such as yourself, right? Because you don't only come in for the short term, you come in for the long term, you come in for the long haul when you invest in these businesses. You help these businesses grow and scale. This has been a great environment for investing and getting into companies. What about the current time being a good time for exits?
It's very fair question. As a venture capital investor, very long term, we think 10-year cycles. So yes, some of our investments that we've made 10 years ago, we're not necessarily pushing for an exit, but like when we do write an investment, it's that long-term value. The reality is you're going to have some VCs with a shorter term horizon, some family offices with a shorter term horizon that won't necessarily be pushing for the company to sell itself, but they're going to be looking for secondary buyers. They're going to be very interested in a merger, M&A sort of deal. So I think the fact is that by the age of the ecosystem, that will also drive some incentives where there are certain investors looking to essentially cash out. And so the secondary markets, which have been very, very low in Southeast Asia, we expect very large pickup there as well, which is what has rolled out in the US, over the past 2 decades, what has rolled out in China. And that's exactly what we see in Southeast Asia. As a Silicon Valley native that's been in Southeast Asia for a decade now, it really is like a time machine. And it's like, oh, what happened in the 90s in the US, I see happening here now.